Thinking through some new possibilities for my tabletop setup. The main thing I got going today was an extension where I could send in text and then also images. Find some random image. So through an extension, and then they get sent right onto the board with some context, and then I can do the thing I've been doing where these blocks go on frames, and then you can reorder and construct kind of documents out of those blocks. So that feels good. And then along those same lines, I was thinking about what I could do with screenshots. So I can screenshot a window, and then it grabs what it can know about it. So this is through kind of Neary, the window manager I use, which has lots of nice scripting, and I'm sure I can get even more info out of this. I can also take like cropped screenshots. So I was thinking about, partly I made this to do writing, and then especially that sending text is like, oh, sometimes I'm just copying quotes out. Maybe it'd be nice to be able to have a kind of paved path for that. Also have some fun interactions where I added paint select today. I can throw stuff in the trash. So some of this is feeling really tactile. Also, duplicate is fun. And these controls are these were kind of with keyboard modifiers, and then I brought them out onto the screen, which feels good. And so that's also what I'm thinking about. The screenshot stuff right now is kind of a keyboard shortcut, and that makes me like switch modes between manipulating on the tabletop and using the keyboard, which also happens when I need to type something. So there's always going to be a little mode switching, but I'm trying to think about how I want to do that. It's possible, like, mostly this is, I'm going to screenshot and send the text when I'm browsing, and then it kind of collects down here, and then I sort it out later. So maybe that mode's fine, but I was also thinking about ways to bring more of the screenshot stuff onto the board. Maybe I also make those buttons. I know because this is just like a node server as a backend, and it's all just local, that I can run the scripts, and because Neary is super scriptable, I know I can do about anything I want to there. But the fun part is thinking about, like, what is this becoming? And also, like, how does it interact with the system? Like, in a way, I think it's interesting if this becomes, it's kind of an alternate file viewer, but it also could include basically your clipboard and kind of your saved screenshots, which makes it more like the desktop, where it by default just saves all those screenshots to your desktop. Where all those sources are sort of flowing onto this board, and then you're sorting them, and especially these frames that put them in to documents are sort of a way for you to then share them back out in a form people can use. I feel like that's one of the ideas in here. Is before I've tried to like let you make a website or something where it's tactile and you can move everything around, but then you get into responsive design. So I think a cool thing here is that it's sort of split, where I have these previews that work with the different frames, and those are always sort of a view of what it will be when it comes out. But then the board is always this more like tactile view. I was thinking a lot about iOS, when you hold down an app icon to enter into that edit mode. And I've done some other stuff like this, or I think I actually want to write a post about this, and I should lay it out more, like Notion, where it has the blocks and you can kind of grab those sides and reorder them. But in Sprout that I worked at, where we did a lot of this stuff. But one thing I really like of the board is the kind of absolute positioning of stuff, because otherwise you'd maybe make these flow so that they just float on a vertical axis and kind of snapped in. But then you get all that stuff where you have to unsnap and open up spots as you drag them, which is all doable, but it's nice. This is kind of a unified, the cards go where you put them, and then they're sort of projected into this preview, which is, you like lose some of the layout here, but that's fine. And then the really nice thing is you can easily bring items across different articles, different files. Gotta think more about the metaphors, but having fun, still thinking about it.